When I was watching this fight, my take on it was just, I literally sat, the last, like, in that third round especially, I was sat like this, and just going, oh, Pavlovich, you're gonna lose so many fans. It's the third, you've already won the decision based on your stop, dude, you're gonna lose so many fans. That's just, to me, that's, like, I think he has lost a lot of fans with that performance. People would be much more likely to jump back on the Pavlovich train if you got a knockout or a KO or even a submission, whatever, over Rosenstrike. Second, third, first round, doesn't matter. You just needed to finish him. And you didn't. And even if you didn't finish him, you had to take him to a decision where you just outstruck him. And guess what? You were outstriking him. Well, am I correct? Yes, look at these statistics. Every round, 11-7, 3-6. Jairzinho actually outstruck him in the second round, to be fair. But he got a lot of control time in that second round, though. 2 minutes. I just was disappointed with this one. Like, so he's coming off the massive round 1 KO streak that he had. And then he goes on to lose to Aspinall in the first round. That's fine. I don't think that Pavlovich even really lost much stock in that fight. Because one, he hit Aspinall, which is impressive. And two, it's Aspinall. And you lose in the first round because he's powerful. And just in a dick measuring contest, he got you. That's fine. Then the Volkov decision comes around, which is very different. And it's a long, drawn out dismantling of Sergei Pavlovich by Alexander Volkov. And that is very different of a loss to have, and it's a very different fucking thing for us to see happen to Pavlovich, because I don't think he's even ever seen a decision in the UFC before that, let alone lost one and had lost all 3 rounds of it. But he did in that fight badly. So coming into this fight, I was thinking Jairzinho's a very knockoutable guy. He's been knocked out by a lot of the big punches in this division, and I think he's even lost decisions to some guys in this in the heavyweight division. So you've got a very attainable loss streak ending fight here, Pav. And it looked to me like he was better on the feet than Rosenstrike, but he just wouldn't stay on the feet with him. So I don't know if he was injured, I don't know if he got really bad corner advice, but it's not like you showed a new part of your game where, like, oh, I decided to wrestle in this fight because I've been practicing it a lot and I think I wanted to show it off to the fans. No. Your grappling was, frankly, terrible. And your ground and pound was so, like, amateur is the only word I have for it. I don't like being the guy that's not a fighter, that's a fucking kid on the internet sitting here yapping about other men's achievements, you know what I mean, and then talking shit about it. But I want to be honest and truthful about my analysis of these events, and Sergei Pavlovich tonight, on the feet in moments, looked okay, and looked like he was just trying to be more calculated, and maybe he was taking a bit of a different approach to how he had approached some of his previous fights, and knowing that Rosenstrike is a guy who is not walk-throughable on the... well, he is somewhat... He's not. He's knockoutable on the feet, but you can't really walk through him for round on round the same way. He's good at distance. He's good at pressure and keeping, like, pace. High amount of... He's really good with, like, the jab, keeping you at bay, and hitting you with that shit constantly, and just timing stuff well. But you were beating him on the feet. So why didn't you stay on the feet? Because that's where you looked okay. But on the ground, there's no other way to say it besides he looked like an amateur. Like, it felt like I was watching an unranked heavyweight fight. Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson was better than this fight, and they were both unranked. I don't know what went wrong for Pav in this. I know what went wrong in the fight. I don't know what went wrong in the game plan and the fight IQ and what his corner was telling him. Because, granted, I'm saying this about a guy who won the fight. Like, do you know how mental it is that he won the fight dominantly, and I'm actually sitting here not even saying anything bad about Rosenstrike. I'm just talking shit about Pavlovich. Because I couldn't even fathom what I was seeing. Hence, me sitting here going, you're gonna lose so many fans. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna stop yapping about it because I've been talking about it for a minute, but it was weird. That's all it was. It was just strange to watch. Because even in the moments when we're on the ground, he's like, it's like he doesn't know how to throw ground and pound. Is Rosenstrike really that incredible of a ground and pound nullifier that he makes you look unranked on top of him? You were like number 2 in the world at one point, or number 3 in the world. And you can't mount ground and pound on a guy who's shorter than you with worse reach and arguably fatter than you. It just doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, as far as I know how heavyweight works, if the guy is bigger than you, fat-wise, not taller than you, doesn't have better reach, doesn't have better power, and you get him on the mat, how are you not hurting him? And if you're not, why are you staying there? There was literally a point that I mentioned. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say about this and I'll move on. The ground and pound that he was mounting on Jairzinho in the 3rd round literally looked like a UFC 5 animation. And I say that because it didn't look like he was actually hitting him. It was ground and pound where he's on top of Jairzinho, chest to chest, okay? And he's ripping the body, the ribs of Jairzinho. And he's literally hitting him like this. Like, he's not moving his entire rest of his body. He's sitting there going... Like, it looked stiff, lack of technique, no thought, and it wasn't working. Jairzinho's not defending against it, and you're not upping the power because of the lack of defense. It's just constant... I don't know how else to describe it. If you guys saw, and you know what I mean, let me know. Because to me, it literally looked like a UFC 5 animation of just like, the guy's just pressing the same thing over and over again. And the guy on the ground's just going... every time you hit him. Like, it's not... there's no defense, there's no... oh, okay, I'm getting hit, let me try and roll to a side from Jairzinho. There's no Pavlovich looking to make those body shots useful to hide it. So, to hide another strike. So you go body, 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 head. Body, 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 head, or something like that. Not at all. So I don't know. I've spoken about it enough. I don't understand what happened in this fight, really. Like, I don't know what the game plan was. I don't know where the IQ went. I don't know if his corner was telling him that he was doing good or bad. But I just think that Pavlovich lost a lot of fans in this fight. And that's all I have to say about it. Thank you guys for being here. And I'll see you guys all in the next mixed martial arts video. Goodbye.